Windfall, wonderful audience. We run, we win. This is James. Today we're going to talk about. I had to write a note. What in the world we were going to talk about tonight because it was so long. Oh, stop hating on fast food. You know, people like to play the blame game. You know, McDonald's didn't make you fat. Either you ate too much or you had a physical condition that needs to be addressed, or your parents thought it was really, really cute that you were overweight and you just ate yourself straight through high school. But in the end, when you stand before God, you aren't going to be able to blame anybody but yourself if you are in charge of your diet. If you're not in charge of your diet or you have a condition that needs to be addressed, then that's something else. But if you are in charge of your diet, you've grown and you can do whatever you want to do, in the long run, you're not going to really be able to blame anybody. Back on them parents. Parents, please. Those children ain't cute. It's not cute. It's not funny, especially when they get older. But I just want to let y'all know, don't blame fast food. It's not. In fact, it's just not good to blame. In fact, the reason why people blame people, not the reason why. One of the main reasons why it's not good to blame is because you never, unless that's the actual reason behind it, then you actually haven't addressed the issue. I mean, like if someone's bathtub is flooding, some wicked person who's not following God, if their bathroom is flooding and they think and tell everybody that it's the shower head when it's not the shower head, then everyone's attention will be on the shower head and you won't actually, and the plumber will come and everyone will send them advice on how to fix the shower head, and their parents will buy them a new shower head so that doesn't leak. And then, you know, and let's say they actually replace the shower head and do all that. Well, what happens if it's not really the shower head? Then the place will still be leaking. The bathroom will still be flooding.
How is a shower head gonna flood a bathroom?
The sink, the bathroom sink. They say, well, how?
Sorry. Shower head and flood the bathroom.
Well, I'm trying to think of how a shower head would flood the bathroom, but our bathroom's blessed, so I was careful trying to pick proper words how to do it. But anyways, if the shower head was not, in fact, here, let me finish the whole idea first. If the shower head really is not what was flooding the bathroom, but if the shower head was what was not flooding the bathroom, and you fix the shower head, and you turn everyone's attention on the shower head, and they replace the shower head, if that is not the real cause of the flooding, then the flooding will still happen. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you can blame, you know, if McDonald's is not really the cause of the person being overweight, if fast food is not really the cause of the person being overweight, then they'll still be getting bigger and bigger and bigger after all the McDonald's closed. In fact, inside the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel, there was a priest who was overweight. The Bible says he was a heavy man, and there were no McDonald's back then. There was no fast food. And it was all organic, you know, if you want to use that term. It was all organic, perfectly natural, none of that stuff, and they blessed their food, and he was still overweight. So that, obviously, that had nothing to do with it. In fact, there was another king in the Bible that was overweight, and it was bad too, you know. But, so in the end, if you're not actually dealing with what's causing it, I guess it even worked with a car. That's why it's not good to blame, because if you blame and that's not really the issue behind it, then, you know, you're really wasting your time and everybody else's time. So that's why I want to encourage you, do not blame McDonald's. Fine, the best thing to do is pray and ask the Lord what's the cause of it. I mean, it might be, I can't really say it might be the music you're listening to, but I don't really know how music can make someone, you know, eat a lot. But, you know, still, I'm just saying, whatever the cause is, that's true. In fact, I think that's why a lot of people miss out with bad things in their life, because they have bad habits, and the cause is sometimes just sin, degenerate curse, you know, or it's the music they're listening to. That's why you need to inquire of the Lord, what's the cause of it? But so don't sit there and play and, you know, and try to blame fast food or anybody, because listen, when you stand before Jesus and you told everybody, like for instance, You know, if you told Jesus and you get up there and say it was McDonald's that made you fat, and it was McDonald's fault entirely, if it was, you'll get off scot-free because it was McDonald's fault. McDonald's controlled your eating, and McDonald's came up with your diet, and McDonald's forced you to pick all the stuff off their menu. So, but if that's really not the case, then you're not going to be able to, you know, you just won't be able to, that won't fly, you know. Kind of reminds me like if you someone gets pulled over by a police officer for going 95, you know, on the interstate. I mean, what excuse could they use? Oh, I was headed to the hospital. And they're driving unsafely. So, you know, in the end, so that's all. That's why I want to encourage you not to do that. Don't blame. The best thing to do is get it fixed. Get it taken care of. I know people don't like that idea. And, you know, the self-acceptance junk that people try to teach, you know, where it's like, you know, just accept everything, accept me, accept who I am. The problem behind that is that if you accept something, you won't endeavor to fix it. You can't go to God to get healed or delivered. You know, if you say you're perfectly fine the way you are and you are overweight, that's bad business. If you say you're perfectly fine, I haven't heard of, well, I did see a movie where a lady was drinking and the person said, you drink too much. And she said, shut up, brat. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of the good stuff. And she was a drunkard. So I guess even someone who drinks alcohol can come up with that same justification. And even though he was concerned about her for over drinking, you know, once she said there was nothing wrong with it, she didn't see anything wrong with it. Life was great. She didn't even try to fix it. You know, obviously she didn't die or anything from over, what's his name, but that's where it comes from. So people don't like it when it comes to stuff they don't like. But then when it's themselves, it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with, you know, just be who you are and stuff like that and, you know, whatnot. But the reason why I want you not to do that, it is because if it really is a legitimate problem, you need to get it fixed. If it's affecting your knees, if it's affecting your heart, if it's affecting, you know, your body, then you do need to fix the issue, you know. You know, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with smoking pot. Well, if you're showing up late for work, even if it's legal, and if for some reason there was no issue with it, even if it was legal, if it's causing problems in your life, you need to address it. Not just saying, you know, self-acceptance is actually self-righteousness is what it is. You know, you're just self-righteous. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my kid. Lies. Remember, live, move, be.